eyebrows, I'll be sure you get things. Yeah, see what I did there? Slip and slide on the body until she get there.
I can't lie when I watch my baby. Her lip gloss pop just came from the spa. Hair done too, but girl, that was 4 shots ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Headkrack's Hip Hop Spot. And I don't know why I'm saying it this way. It's because I'm chilling with one of the most mellowest dudes in the game right now, who's killing it, the homie Sebastian Mikael. Yo, man, you got one of the hottest records in the country right now, man.
I appreciate that, man. I love that introduction, though, man. I'm over here cracking up, bro. That was dope. I like that.
Yo, man, I was doing my research on you, man. In addition to, like, not knowing that it was your record that I was liking for quite some time, you got an interesting backstory, man. Like, so let me get this right. You're Ethiopian and part Swedish.
Yeah.
Like, your mom's is Swedish, right?
No, my mom's Ethiopian. My dad is Swedish, so.
All right, so your pops must have had some A-level game.
Nah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, the roll over there and pull an Ethiopian chick in Sweden? Stop playing.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I don't know. I never thought of it that way, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I can't even answer that.
So you spent a good portion of your life growing up in Sweden, right?
Yeah, I'm born and raised out there. I came when I was 18. So,
Got you.
Yeah, I've been over for like 6 years.
Now, do you miss it?
I mean, you know, I miss family. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, that's the reason why I go back to Sweden. I also work with a few producers out there, but mainly, you know, I have a lot of my family out there, most of my family. So that's what I miss. You know, as far as the country, you know, it's, you know, honestly, I can't say that I really miss the country. I honestly like it over here better. You know what I mean?
A little bit more to do over here, a little bit more energy.
A lot more to do over here. Yeah,
I got you.
definitely.
Now, you left Sweden and lived in California for like 2 years where you studied like sound engineering.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, so do you mix your own records?
Well, to be honest, I'm trying to stay away from that, man. Like,
Just
I
working
think
on
it would
artistry.
just drive me crazy. Yeah, it's too much to do. Like, if I had to focus on every single thing, it would be just overwhelming, you know. But I started out like I just, you know, my excuse was always like, yeah, you know, I'm an artist, but I'm trying to find someone who can like record me. I'm trying to find a studio, you know. So I just stopped, you know, having that excuse and just learned how to engineer myself. Went to school for it, and then I just started recording myself. So most of the songs that we started doing was I just cut myself, you know, doing it. And
See, man, just a little bit of like ingenuity and just self-know-how, man, takes you such a long way.
It just helped me get a start, you know what I mean, doing that, you know. And plus, like, I made some money on the side going and engineering from other people and stuff, you know.
See? Hustle.
Yeah,
That
man,
Swedish hustle. So you go from California to Boston. Which seems like, you know, I mean, it seems like, you know, you go from Sweden, which is dope because, like, especially if you ain't never been to Sweden, like, you just want to go because you hear all these stories about these tall blonde chicks and you're like, yo, what's really good in Sweden? Then you go to Cali, which is like the dream of, you know, then you go to Boston. And I'm not dissing Boston. Boston's a great place. So how did you end up in Boston from California?
I feel you, man. Like, people look at me too and be like, you moved from LA to Boston? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why did you do that? But I mean, to be honest, I felt like being in LA early on, it's a little crazy. If you don't have, I felt like if you don't have, you know, basically grounded people over there, you know, if you don't have something set over there, it's gonna be hard to kind of like, you know what I mean, build a, get a start basically.
Right, because there's so many people trying to do the same thing. So many
people trying to do it, and you know, and you gotta know the right people. You know what I mean? Because no offense to LA, but everybody knows it's like, you know, it's a lot of, you know, fugazi people out there. It's a lot of fake people that tell you certain things, and that happened to me. That's why I know it. You know what I mean? But Boston to me was like, I got into school over there called Berkeley, which was honestly the main reason for me to move over there. I wouldn't even have known like where Boston was at, you know, if it wasn't for Berkeley. You know what I mean? So, but moving to Boston, I got my start over there. You know what I mean? Like, they started supporting me a lot, like different colleges in Boston and stuff like that. So I look at Boston like my second home because, you know, that was like my start, you know.
That's what's up. Now, when you go to a school like Berkeley, are you going for like music? Or are you going for like business management or?
At Berkeley? Yeah. Man, I went for, I actually did a major called Pro Music where you like could do everything you wanted. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, so they had a major. It was like, okay, you can put together different majors into one major, you know what I mean, and just do different things. So that's what I did, man. People call me lazy to do that because, you know, the known people to do that are the lazy people because they don't want to get into one thing.
Yeah, you don't want to commit to one thing.
Yeah, but it was cool because, the main reason why I loved Berkeley was the networking. You know what I mean? Being in that environment. And what I did was like I went to school, but then right after school I would go home and cut and record and do what I wanted to really do. You know what I'm saying?
Now, is he perfect for a person like in your industry? Because you're immersed in the thing that you want to do more than anything, almost all day. Like I wish my assignment was to go home and work on a record. You know what I'm saying? Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was, but it's crazy because I'm in school for music, but they want me to do other things. You know what I'm saying, music wise, and I knew what I wanted to do, so I kind of had to balance those two things. So it was kind of like having a 9-to-5 job and then do music after work. Yeah.
Yo, I mean, and it seems like everything kind of came together for you kind of fast. Like some people chase this dream their whole life, but here we are in 2014. You got the deal with Slip and Slide.
Yeah.
You got a record that not is only getting a lot of love on terrestrial radio, satellite radio as well.
Yeah.
Caught you joining on Love and Hip Hop on the episode where Joe Buttons was going to propose to Tahiri.
Yeah.
So that first time you hear your song on the radio, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you react?
I remember, clearly too, cause we was in Miami. We didn't we just put out the record and we hadn't gone for ads or anything yet. The song was just out online, over the internet. And I remember just we went to this food spot and I went in the car and one of the dudes from the label he's chilling, whatever. And the song is playing, and he knows it's playing. He probably already freaked out in the car before me. You know what I mean?
He got his composure before he came back.
He's cool. He's trying to act cool, whatever. So I'm looking at him like, why you playing a song off a CD? You know what I'm saying? It's weird because we all know the record, we all. But he's kind of he just pointing at the radio, yo. And you know what I mean? I'm looking at the radio. I'm seeing it, 99 Jams, you know what I mean? And right when I'm looking at it, the DJ who was spinning it started introducing me as a new artist. It was crazy, man. I remember trying to get my phone to film it, you know what I mean, trying to IG or whatever. And it was a crazy feeling, man.
It seems like if there's ever a moment where you automatically forget how to use all your devices, it's that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Whether it be trying to catch your song on the radio for the first time, or that first time your son is about to make a dope shot in basketball.
Exactly.
You're fumbling, you can't get on it.
You drop it, you miss the whole thing. I remember I actually got it on camera, right? And right when I was about to put it up, Instagram crashed, and the video was gone. And I was pissed.
Look at the devil.
I was trying to flex on IG about, my song being on the radio, and it didn't happen. But I at least heard it, so.
And I'm saying, and that was the first of many times, man. That song's getting a lot of burn. So when did it initially drop?
We put the song out end of July. That's when we released it online. We just put it out on SoundCloud, and we started doing a promo tour end of August. And that's where really things started just moving. I feel us traveling, going to different stations, different markets, really made it connect. You know what I mean? That made people really jump on it because we used to come out and perform and stuff. You know what I mean? In different stations and stuff.
So when you're working on a record like that, or the other joint Forever, which seems it could be the front runner to be the official wedding song. For young, young cats, because our parents and our parents' parents, they had Stevie Wonder and cats like that. Forever is that new energy, man. So when you're thinking about writing a song like that, what's your motivation? Who you thinking about, or who you picture in mind?
I mean, everything comes from my own experiences. You know what I mean, life experiences. Even last night, Forever to me was just a honest record. It's about my whole move from coming from Sweden and moving over to the States, because that's actually a story I had to kind of leave my girl, you know what I'm saying? She was my first love, so it was we was together for 4 years, so it was really crazy making that move, because I wanted to do music. That was my dream, but at the same time I was kind of stuck in between, and it was really hard, you know what I mean? Really tough period. So that song, when we started making that song, it just made sense to be about, you know what I'm saying, that time period for me. And also that music is what I miss hearing right now, just
it's
out
tough.
there, you know what I'm saying? I just miss that style, that soulful, traditional type of R&B,
Yeah, people come up to me all the time, like R&B artists, like, yo, how do I get my record on? And it's just like, I never really have an answer for them because it seems like hip hop is so dominant on radio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could spin a hip hop record in a strip club.
Right.
R&B records are kind of hit and miss because, like, like chicks trying to twerk and do a little certain thing, for the record. So it seems like it's harder for guys to break in to do what you do. Like, if you had any like words of advice, I mean, it seems like there is no real pattern to getting it done. But what do you recommend?
Man, honestly, like, I just recommend just putting it out, you know what I mean, online. When we put out Forever, like, I didn't know Forever was going to come out this early. I planned it out, cause the same thing, like, I figured I had to put out more records that could work, in different places, you know what I'm saying, like radio and stuff. But, the record actually got leaked, but then Love and Hip Hop reached out, and they wanted to use it for, for their, for that scene, with Joe Budden posting stuff. And that, to me, I was like, man, that's dope, because, that's gonna bring the record to life. Like, it's gonna give it a purpose, like a, actual, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scene for it. So when it got aired, we just made sense to put it out, and we just let it just ride. We just let the people, rock with it, shared it, and it really did great. So I never really said, I'm trying to get this record on radio. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I just loved the record, and I wanted to put it out there for the people. So I feel like for anybody doing R&B or music, soulful music, or whatever, I think the best way is just to put it out, let the people rock with it, and you never know where it's gonna take you.
Now you can't believe that you did it with me. But you was the same that last
Stay
night.
real with it. What they talking about? Ain't no rapper that's alive, call for Lauren now. Now can you deal with it? I probably run you out, cause I never tell